You keep telling yourself that people take advantage of you because they're selfish. That's comforting. It's also a lie. They take advantage of you because you've taught them they can. Every time you swallowed an insult to keep the peace, every time you said yes when your entire body wanted to say no, every time you tolerated disrespect because you feared losing someone, you trained people to believe there would never be consequences. You call it kindness. They call it permission. This is the brutal truth. The world does not test your intentions. It tests your boundaries. And when your boundaries collapse under the slightest pressure, so does your value. Robert Greene understood this deeply. Power is not measured by how many people like you. It is measured by how many people think twice before crossing you. Not because you are loud, not because you are violent, because they know your standards are immovable. They know access to you is earned, not guaranteed. Today you are going to abandon one of the most dangerous beliefs ever sold to ordinary people. That being endlessly understanding makes you admirable. It doesn't. Endless understanding without standards becomes endless exploitation. The people who respect you most are rarely the ones you tried hardest to please. They are the ones who discovered that your principles could not be negotiated. Look at nature. The strongest kingdoms are not protected by speeches. They are protected by borders. A nation without borders is eventually invaded. A castle without walls is eventually occupied. Yet somehow you expect your life to remain peaceful while leaving every emotional gate wide open. Anyone can enter. Anyone can demand your time. Anyone can unload their problems onto your shoulders. Then you wonder why you feel exhausted. Close the gate. That is where everything changes. Robert Greene's Law 16 whispers a dangerous lesson. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Most people hear only the word absence. They miss the deeper message. Scarcity creates value because scarcity forces people to recognize consequences. When access becomes limited, appreciation begins. When consequences become real, behavior changes. Think about a private club with a long waiting list. Thousands want to enter because thousands cannot. Imagine tomorrow they accepted everyone who knocked on the door. Membership would instantly lose its prestige. The walls would remain. The furniture would remain. The quality might even remain. But the value would disappear because exclusivity disappeared. Your attention works exactly the same way. If everyone receives unlimited access to your emotions, your patience, your forgiveness, and your availability, then none of those things feel valuable anymore. They become expected. Stop giving away what should be earned. Let's talk about the first boundary almost nobody protects: your time. People who don't respect your time will never respect your life, because your life is made of time. Every unnecessary meeting, every meaningless conversation, every favor accepted out of guilt is a small theft from the future you claim to want. Notice something interesting. Successful people rarely say they are busy. They simply say, "I'm unavailable." One sentence, no apology, no essay, no desperate explanation hoping the other person understands. Because confidence doesn't negotiate with every request. You do. Someone asks you for a favor that drains your energy. Instead of saying, "I'm so sorry. I'd really love to help, but I've just been overwhelmed lately because work has been difficult and I have so much happening," replace it with this: "I won't be able to." Then stop. Silence is your signature. Watch how uncomfortable that feels. Good. Discomfort is often the sound of an old identity dying. This brings us to something even darker. Manipulators fear one thing more than confrontation: unpredictability. Robert Greene's Law 17 tells you to cultivate an air of unpredictability. Not because randomness is impressive, but because predictability is exploitable. If everyone knows exactly how you will react, they know exactly how to control you. Think about your own patterns. Do they know you'll forgive every betrayal? Do they know you'll answer every late-night call? Do they know guilt always works? Do they know they only have to apologize once to regain complete access? Then your behavior has become a machine. Machines are easy to operate, become impossible to calculate. This does not mean becoming emotionally unstable. It means becoming principle-driven instead of emotion-driven. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, don't argue endlessly. Reduce access. If someone constantly lies, don't announce another warning. Withdraw trust. If someone only appears when they need something, stop making yourself available. Consequences speak a language explanations never will. Imagine touching a hot stove. The stove never shouts. It never argues. It never explains why touching fire is a bad decision. It simply burns whoever ignores the boundary. Become more like the stove. Calm, consistent, unemotional, effective. Now consider another mistake that quietly destroys authority. You confuse forgiveness with reconciliation. Those are not the same thing. You can forgive someone internally without reopening the door they kick down. Too many people confuse emotional healing with unlimited second chances. Greene would call this strategic blindness. You ignore patterns because you desperately want promises to become reality. Listen carefully. People rarely reveal themselves through words. They reveal themselves through repetition. One mistake is an accident. Two may be carelessness. A repeated pattern is a decision. Believe the decision, not the apology. This is where Machiavelli becomes uncomfortable to read, because he reminds you that appearances deceive while actions expose. The prince who trusts every smiling face does not remain prince for very long. Neither do you. Let's discuss emotional punishment, not revenge. Punishment, there is a difference. Revenge is emotional. Punishment is educational. When someone violates a genuine boundary, your response should teach them something, not through screaming, not through drama, through loss. Loss of access, loss of trust, loss of proximity. Human beings protect what they fear losing. If nothing changes after they disrespect you, they learn the lesson that your words are decorations. Imagine a child reaching for an electrical socket. If every warning is followed by no consequence, the warning eventually becomes meaningless. Adults are remarkably similar. When your no repeatedly becomes fine, your boundaries become theater. Stop performing, start enforcing. This brings us to the most expensive mistake nice people make. They mistake emotional tolerance for emotional strength. Those are opposites. Tolerance says, I can endure anything. Strength says, I decide what enters my life. The ocean accepts countless rivers but rejects the shore that tries to imprison it. It moves according to its own force. Storms arrive, ships sink, waves crash. Yet the ocean never abandons its nature to satisfy whatever stands before it. Become the ocean. Someone raises their voice. Lower yours. Someone becomes emotional. Remain measured. Someone demands an immediate answer. Slow down. Power often belongs to the person least affected by urgency. The manipulator creates pressure because pressure shortens thought. Your greatest defense is time. Whenever you feel rushed into a decision, pause, say, I'll think about it. Then leave. Never negotiate while emotionally flooded. Never decide while trying to escape discomfort. Never promise peace at the cost of your future resentment. Because resentment is simply the interest you pay on boundaries you failed to protect. Resentment does not appear overnight. It grows quietly. It grows every time you smile while meaning no. Every time you suppress your instincts because you fear confrontation. Every time you betray yourself to preserve someone else's comfort. Eventually, you look at the people around you and wonder why you feel trapped. The answer is painful. You built the cage yourself. But if you built it, you can dismantle it. Robert Greene's Law 36 offers another lesson that most people overlook. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. People often apply this to enemies. Apply it first to disrespect. Stop feeding every insult with your attention. Stop chasing every person who withdraws from your life. Stop treating every rejection like a courtroom where you must defend your worth. Attention is your most valuable currency. Spend it like a king. Most people spend it like a beggar. Think about predators in the wild. A lion does not sprint after every animal it sees. It waits, it observes, it understands that reckless pursuit wastes energy. The desperate hunter starves because exhaustion clouds judgment. The patient hunter chooses the right moment. Yet look at your own life. Someone leaves you on read. You send another message. Someone becomes distant. You increase your effort. Someone stops respecting you. You become even kinder. Do you see the pattern? You reward poor behavior with greater investment. That is exactly backwards. Healthy psychology works through reinforcement. Whatever receives rewards tends to repeat itself. If disrespect earns more of your time, more of your attention, more of your emotional investment, why would anyone change? Reverse the equation. Respect earns access, disrespect loses access. It is that simple. This brings us to one of the darkest truths in the laws of human nature. People watch what you tolerate far more closely than what you preach. You can deliver speeches about self-respect all day long. They mean nothing if your actions tell another story. Imagine two managers. One constantly threatens consequences but never follows through. The other rarely speaks. But every promise, good or bad, is fulfilled exactly as stated. Which one commands the room? The second. Not because they are louder, because they are predictable in one crucial way. Their boundaries are real. Become that person. If you say you are leaving at 6, leave at 6. If you say you will not tolerate dishonesty, act the first time dishonesty appears. If you decide someone no longer deserves your trust, stop handing them pieces of it out of nostalgia. Consistency creates authority. Inconsistency destroys it. Now let's discuss guilt. Because guilt is the favorite weapon of people who benefit from your weak boundaries. Listen to the phrases carefully. I guess you've changed. I never expected this from you. After everything I've done for you, you used to care. These sentences are rarely observations. They are fishing hooks. They are designed to pull you back into your old role. The role of the people pleaser, the rescuer, the one who apologizes for having standards. Do not bite. Instead, remain calm. Say, you're entitled to feel that way. Nothing more. Notice what happens. Manipulators expect resistance. They expect long explanations. They expect emotional defense. What they do not expect is quiet certainty. Quiet certainty is terrifying because it cannot be negotiated. Greene understood that uncertainty creates psychological imbalance. When people realize their usual methods no longer work on you, they begin questioning their own position instead of controlling yours. That is power, not domination, not intimidation, self-possession. Let's talk about emotional scarcity. Most people make every emotion visible. Every frustration appears instantly. Every excitement is announced immediately. Every disappointment becomes public. You become an open book that anyone can read. But books that everyone has already read rarely create curiosity. Greene's Law 4, always say less than necessary, is about far more than words. It is about emotional economy. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not every victory needs an audience. Not every setback requires an announcement. Imagine carrying a priceless diamond through a crowded marketplace. Would you hold it above your head for strangers to inspect? Or would you keep it protected until the right moment? Your emotions deserve the same protection. The more accessible they become, the easier they are to manipulate. This does not mean becoming cold. It means becoming selective. There is a profound difference. Now consider the difference between fear and respect. Many confuse the two. Fear says, "I will hurt you." Respect says, "You cannot move me." The first relies on aggression. The second relies on certainty. A mountain does not threaten anyone. It simply refuses to move. Storms arrive, snow falls. Rivers crash against its base. The mountain remains. That is the energy you must cultivate. Not explosive, immovable. People eventually stop testing boundaries they know will never bend. This brings us to one of Robert Greene's most uncomfortable lessons from the 33 Strategies of War. Sometimes the battle is won before it begins. How? By your reputation. If everyone knows you abandon your standards under pressure, they will pressure you. If everyone knows emotional blackmail works, they will use emotional blackmail. If everyone knows persistence eventually breaks you, they will simply wait until you become tired. Your reputation teaches people how to treat you long before they ever speak to you. So ask yourself, what reputation have you built? The person who always gives another chance? The person who never says no? The person who tolerates disrespect because conflict feels uncomfortable? Or the person whose kindness is genuine but whose standards are absolute? Those reputations create completely different lives. Because boundaries are not walls built to keep everyone out. They are filters built to let the right people in. And that distinction changes everything. Most people never understand that. They think boundaries are about pushing people away. No, boundaries are invitations. They invite respectful people closer, while quietly exposing everyone who only wanted unrestricted access to you. Watch what happens the first time you stop over-explaining. The respectful person adjusts. The manipulator argues. Watch what happens the first time you say no without guilt. The respectful person says, "I understand." The manipulator says, "You've become selfish." That reaction tells you everything you need to know. You don't discover people's character when you make life easy for them. You discover it the moment your boundaries inconvenience them. This is where your old identity will try to return. It will whisper, "Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I should apologize. Maybe I should just let it go this one last time." Ignore that voice. It is not wisdom, it is conditioning. For years you trained yourself to mistake self-sacrifice for virtue. You believed that enduring disrespect made you mature. You believed that keeping everyone happy made you a good person. It didn't. It made you predictable, and predictable people are easy to use. Robert Greene reminds you throughout Mastery that mastery begins with self-command. Before you can influence the world, you must become impossible to manipulate from within. That means mastering your impulses, your need to be liked, your fear of disappointing others, your addiction to immediate harmony. Harmony purchased with self-betrayal is not peace, it is surrender. Think about a blacksmith forging steel. The metal enters the fire soft enough to be shaped. It is struck again and again, heated, cooled, hammered. Every blow removes weakness. Every trial increases strength. Your boundaries are forged the same way. The first time you say no, your voice may shake. Say it anyway. The first time you walk away from someone who expected endless chances, your heart may race. Walk away anyway. The first time you refuse to rescue someone from the consequences of their own choices, guilt may whisper in your ear. Keep walking. Strength is not the absence of discomfort. Strength is refusing to let discomfort decide your actions. Now ask yourself another difficult question. Who benefits when you have no boundaries? The answer is never the people who truly love you. Healthy relationships do not require the destruction of your identity. Healthy friendships do not demand unlimited emotional labor. Healthy partners do not punish you for protecting your peace. Only those who profit from your weakness fear your strength. That realization is liberating. You stop taking accusations personally. You stop trying to convince everyone that your decisions are fair. You stop chasing closure from people who never intended to understand you, because you finally recognize a law that Greene hints at repeatedly. Not every battle deserves your participation. Some battles are won the moment you refuse to enter them. Someone insults you. Silence. Someone gossips about you. Keep building. Someone attempts to provoke an emotional reaction. Deny them the satisfaction. Nothing frustrates a manipulator more than discovering they no longer have access to your nervous system. Remember the image of the fortress. Its strength is not measured by how loudly it threatens invaders. Its strength is measured by the fact that invaders think twice before approaching. Become that fortress, not isolated, not bitter, not paranoid, secure. There is a profound difference. A secure person can be generous because generosity is a choice, not a survival strategy. A secure person can forgive because forgiveness is no longer confused with surrender. A secure person can love deeply because they know they can also leave if respect disappears. That is real freedom. Freedom is not having everyone agree with you. Freedom is no longer needing them to. And here is the final truth. You are not trying to make people fear you. You are making them fear the consequences of disrespecting you. There is a difference. You never threaten. You never chase. You never beg. You simply become a person whose standards cannot be negotiated. The old version of you begged to be understood. The new version understands itself. The old version confused attention with affection. The new version values consistency over intensity. The old version believed boundaries pushed love away. The new version knows boundaries protect the kind of love worth keeping. You are not becoming colder. You are becoming clearer. You are not becoming cruel. You are becoming disciplined. You are not building walls around your heart. You are building gates. And only those who arrive with respect receive the key. That is the transformation. You are shedding the dead skin of the person who apologized for existing, who confused endless patience with strength, who believed tolerance alone would earn respect. That version of you survived, but it will never lead. The person you are becoming understands that power is quiet, discipline is visible, and boundaries are not threats. They are promises you make to yourself and refuse to break. So, ask yourself one final question. What is the one boundary you know you should have enforced months ago, but didn't? Write it in the comments. Name it. Commit to protecting it from this day forward. And if you're serious about mastering the laws of power, understanding human nature, and building the kind of presence that commands respect without demanding it, subscribe and continue this journey. Because the moment people begin to fear, crossing your boundaries is not the moment they become afraid of you. It is the moment they finally realize you have learned to respect yourself.